Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is a new segment for ATR. We're going to start covering the WWE Premium Live events with some YouTube videos, just to let you guys know what's going on. If you didn't watch the show or you want to hear what we have to say about it, so of course my name is Scott. I'm the host, and with me today is fellow ATR member, 1/5 of the Ship It Studios Heavyweight Championship contender. His name is Ethan. Ethan, brother, how we doing today?
Good, brother. Back off a fun Backlash review. Just got finished watching my Japan stuff earlier. Yes, I'm burnt out in a good way, but no, I'm fun. Talk about Backlash. I was surprised for a B pay-per-view. It's actually fun, but I'll talk about more we'll talk about more as we get down there, and then the World Title Tournament. We'll talk about if it shows up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if it shows up, they said that it would be here during the morning on Sunday. So we planned on doing this, in the early afternoon. Be like, all right, we have a perfect time. We'll be able to talk about it after we talk about Backlash and kind of like go into what Night of the Champions might look like. But in typical WWE fashion, they have not released any of that information yet. So we're kind of going on the fly here. We'll talk about Backlash, and if they happen to release the information while we're recording, we'll definitely talk about it. If not, then keep an eye out on all above the ring social media platforms where we'll go ahead and we'll post it, and we'll get stuff ready for Raw, because from what I've heard, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Ethan, I believe there's going to be two triple threat matches, and then the winners will face each other, and then the winner of that match will go on and wrestle for the new World Heavyweight
Yeah,
Championship at Night of Champions. There's going to be two on Raw and two on SmackDown, and then the winners will face one another
yeah,
at Night of Champions.
yeah. So basically, they were trying to make it separate, like a Raw tournament and SmackDown, but honestly, I'm just combining them. So basically, they're doing two triple threats on Raw, two on SmackDown, and then the winners of the Raw meet later in the show on Raw later in the show. So basically, two of them are wrestling twice,
Right,
and same with SmackDown. And then the winner of the SmackDown one-on-one match and the winner of the Raw semifinals, I'll just say,
right,
will be at Night Champions at Saudi Arabia, but we don't know the participants, like we already said. But
right.
we'll keep an eye. Worst case, I'll just go breaking.
Oh my god, yes, perfect. um, the one thing that I just want I'll say this. The one thing that bothers me about this tournament is that why is SmackDown even involved with this? This is Raw's champion, Raw's championship. Why is there a SmackDown contingent to this at all? But I mean, that's just me, because my brain goes into, let's keep split brands and actually
Yeah.
have split brands, because why would you not want to have six other competitors from Raw have a shot at this championship? I think
Oh,
that would be
you're
so much better. You could throw some mid card guys in there. Hell, even throw some lower mid card guys in there, just to be like, ooh, underdogs. This could be interesting. But I mean, I don't get paid money to make these matches. Although sometimes I feel like we could probably do a better job at times, but that's
well, you're
neither
not.
here nor there.
We're in the minority because as soon as when he announced it at the press conference, everybody's like, "I thought it was a Raw title. Why is SmackDown wrestling?"
Thank
But
you.
technically, if a SmackDown guy who went technically, he could transfer.
I mean, that is true. They could do some type of trade, or they're gonna kind of do what they'll do with like the undisputed tag champs and the women's champs. They're still gonna go to both brands, and NXT is
Yeah.
gonna go through all three brands. So there's still gonna be some intermingling, which I guess is fine, whatever. But part of me really hopes that they actually do stick with some type of actual split branding, because otherwise then you're just having two champions on the same show if Roman decides to show up. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll
But
see.
yeah, that's for later on. We'll talk about that when that happens, if it happens while we record. If not, like I said, we'll talk about it afterwards. But let's talk WWE Backlash live from San Juan, Puerto Rico last night. First things first, this crowd, beautiful. Chef's kiss everywhere. It was wonderful. I love non-mainland US crowds. International crowds are fantastic. They're always showing up for these things. I love the run that's going to be happening, because obviously now after this is Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Arabian crowd's really good normally, and then after that it's Money in the Bank, and we all know European crowds, especially UK crowds, are fanatics when it comes to wrestling. So that, oh god, the O2 is going to explode, and I can't wait. Of course, then obviously you have AEW side as well. They're going to be in Wembley at the end of August, with WWE going to Detroit for SummerSlam. So it's going to be a fun summer, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all these matches, obviously, and how the crowds are going to respond to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Boston.
Correct. NXT, yep, they're going to be in
Lol,
Boston.
sorry, lol.
Yeah, the Boston area. It's the same thing.
Well, Scott, you know you're from Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, well, from Massachusetts. Like, oh, where are you from? I said, I'm near Boston, nowhere close to Boston. I'm originally an hour west from Boston, but nobody knows when you say Worcester, or people call it Worcester or Worcester, whatever the hell you want to call it. There's no H, so it's
I'm not even trying.
I know.
But it's funny, but for AW, just before we get the Backlash, so like you said, fun summer like Saudi Arabia for Night Champions, NXT's and Massachusetts. AW's doing Canada. Let's fucking go.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, and England in Wembley Stadium.
Right.
Yeah, they said the only WPW is SummerSlam in Detroit. I think that's the only American as of right now. We don't know where the rest of them.
Yeah,
come back to Canada. Come back to Canada, please, WWE.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Especially after how Elimination Chamber was. That was, oh my god. And of course, everything rotating with Sami Zayn at the time. Like, they were. Oh, I would not have been mad if Sami had won that match, even though storyline wise it would have made sense. But also at the same time, on the other side of the coin, it was better that Roman did retain. And I'm still on that train that Roman's not dropping this title until WrestleMania 40.
I'm kind of surprised in a way he wasn't on the show. I get why he wasn't, but I kind of imagine the boos on him. He would got like Dominic heel, but we'll talk about Dominic in that street fight later. But
yeah,
but let's get in the Backlash, because
yes,
I really want to talk about this.
So I know it was a really, really good card. I really enjoyed it. The matches were all fun. There wasn't really a dud in this whole show, which is great to see. We kicked things off for the Raw Women's Championship with Bianca Belair taking on and defeating Io Sky, both SmackDown wrestlers. Number one, so we're still interested to see what happens when the rosters truly take effect come Monday Night Raw on the 8th. So I don't know if the women are going to do tag swaps or title swaps or whatever. Hopefully it's not like Becky Lynch and Charlotte was a couple years ago. That was a nightmare, but that's neither here nor there. So for me, multiple times in this match alone, I felt like Io actually might have won. Like, this was the Io Sky that I remember seeing in NXT when she went heel and was just completely dominant and absolutely fantastic. You've watched her longer because you watched her in Stardom. So tell me about her in her Stardom days, because I haven't been able to watch that stuff. So let the people know.
Oh, she was, if you take part of her NXT run, put it with Stardom, beautiful. Nice. Bangers with Jamie Hayter. Yes, Jamie Hayter was in Stardom.
Nice.
Could get a match for Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler was also in Stardom.
That I did not.
Ari, excellent. Honestly, I can go on and on all day, but I thought Io had a few. Even the San Juan Puerto Rico fans loved her.
Yeah. I know that Io was the clear favorite in this match, and I think that rattled Bianca a little bit. So I'm interested to see how that goes forward, if that even does anything for her. I'm still waiting for a Bianca Belair heel turn, and I think if the Street Profits turn heel as well with her, because I believe they're all three are on SmackDown now.
They are. Yep.
I think that could be a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, please. Remember what I said at the WrestleMania picks? I remember the hot take. I said not Bianca, but the Street Profits.
Yeah. I mean, watching to see all of them turn heel, I think that would bring Dawkins to a whole new level.
Yeah.
because he shows those flashes of his freakish strength, but having him have more just I don't know, more fire in his gut for being a heel, I think would be a lot of fun. Montez would just be next level.
Future world champion.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, imagine him heel. Oh my god. I kind of
Yeah.
look, no, let's go. Now we're
Right. Now we're fantasy booking a little bit. This is a common thing for ATR. Those of you who watched and listened to us for a long time, you know this is how we roll. But yeah, I'd love to see Bianca and Montez be a power couple.
that'd be dope.
I think that'd be sweet. Yeah. But that again, that's let's move me on that for just a minute. But this match, outstanding. Like I said, multiple opportunities where I thought Io would actually win this match, and I would not be upset with it. I believe now Bianca Belair is the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion in the modern era, and
Yeah.
I believe she's only like I don't know 70 something days behind Trish Stratus for being the longest reigning ever women's. Well, I shouldn't say ever. Because I believe what was it? Mua had it for like 30 years or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, but at least for like the modern era, like for the longest time ever, not ever, but again, you know what I'm trying to get at. The longest
Yes.
WWE Women's Champion in modern era, I believe, is still with Trish Stratus. Which of course, thank you, Trish. We will always say that. Yes, we acknowledge Trish Stratus here. But the thing for me in this match, and I know it's going to be continuation of the current issues that's been going on in Damage Control. Bailey and Dakota coming out towards the very, very end of this match. You mentioned it yourself, and I saw it after the fact, with Dakota Kai begging Bailey not to come out and just let Io do her thing. Becky trying Bailey
You
trying to get
fucked up.
involved.
You fucked
I
up.
know. Bailey holding on to Bianca's hair and the ref catching her, causing the slight delay. Io not able to hit. I believe she was trying to do
The moonsault.
moonsault or something, and she ended up missing it. And then Bianca gets the victory. I do love the fact also that Io did something that seems to be rarity nowadays, where she actually worked on a part of the body, and she focused on the arm. And the reason why I want to mention that is because that scary moment when Bianca had her one arm above her head and then dropped Io on her face, that scared the shit out of me, because I was like, oh my god, Io's face is now destroyed. But she bounced right back up. She was perfectly fine. But that was a little scary for me, watching that. But this was an excellent match. I really wish the ending didn't happen the way it did, but obviously I know it's for future storyline purposes.
Mhm.
Damage Control's days are numbered, and that makes me sad. But if this makes Io Sky more of the superstar that she truly is, then in the long run, I think that's what's best for business.
Oh, that fucking ruled.
Yeah.
I wrote that in the. Well, I'll give my rating. I said 9 out of 10. Not
Yeah.
you know what's funny? Out of the past week, that's not the first time I gave a women's match a 9. I gave a bunch of star matches, but you could catch that after. But Io was made the fans just loved her, and then they were giving the John Cena when I say no 6 5s for the boo, where they're like they're doing the yay boo spot, and Bianca's punching, and they're like boo, and Io's like yeah. But I love the match, even though Dakota and Bailey they didn't need to come out.
Right. Agreed.
I think Dakota's like when I was starting for record, like Dakota was like, please no, just let her do it herself, and then Bailey's like, yeah, screw you. Like, I actually thought Io had it when Dakota kicked her, kicked Bianca, sorry, and then Io, think she hit the moonsault. She did something and then pinned her.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's it. And then Bianca kicked out the last second. I was like, holy shit. I thought that was it. But I mean, I wouldn't mind running back. Let's run this back.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think that'd be great. It'd be I'm wondering, like I said, the biggest thing is like what's gonna happen when it comes to the championships. We'll talk about Rhea and SmackDown Championship in a little bit, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they just do that title swap or if they change the names of the titles and just keep the champions as they are.
Bianca's got a Roman reign.
Oh my god, I know.
But
yeah,
I could, because I remember I could see the tense because after the match, did you notice Io kind of gave Bailey like a little look?
Yeah, yeah.
Because like on SmackDown where Bianca or Bailey pushed Bianca, too many B's.
I know.
Bailey pushed Bianca into Io.
Yep.
I was like,
Yep.
ooh.
Like,
And
yeah, they're doing a very good job subtly showing the cracks in damage control. And yeah, it's gonna be very interesting how things go. There are a lot of little storylines throughout this show that really are just like, oh man, I can't wait to watch this on television when it gets to it. So but after that fantastic match, we moved on to our second match of the night, which was Seth frickin' Rollins taking on the free agent Omos with MVP at his side. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed this match. I thought he looked fantastic for the second match in a row after his match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Um, Omos does lose this match with Seth Rollins hitting the stomp from the top rope because two stomps regularly wasn't enough to put Omos down. I thought that made Omos look amazing. Um, yeah, obviously Seth had to get the win here because he needs all the momentum rolling into the World Heavyweight Championship. Because if he's not a part of that either one of those triple threat matches, they're doing it wrong.
yes. Steph's gotta be in those triple threat. But honestly, can't believe I'm saying this. Almost has actually had a good match with Rollins. I like the Mario stump.
Yes,
I wish he had the red boots. Okay, that would have been funnier.
that would have been
The,
hilarious.
all right. Well, like the two stomps, I was like, and I thought he was gonna keep stomping him on the ground and then like
Right.
do the four.
Yeah.
Then I was like, well, how is he gonna put him away? Because he tried to do the pedigree, but almost is like too tall
No.
for that shit.
It's like,
He
nah.
he pretty much had the pedigree him like on his knees, and then he's like, all right, I think that's the first time he's done the top rope. Well, I mean, almost as like 7'4", I think.
Yeah, he's ridiculously tall.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But honestly, almost I did enjoy this one. I originally did sit 5 out of 10, and then I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to 7.
Yeah, see, I think I talked you out of this one. Yeah, because I was like, nah, like, what are you talking about? This was great.
That's twice. By the way, Smart. That's twice now he's done that because on NXT with the Battle of the Joes, I think I said 5 or 6. I said 5 or 6, and then Scott convinced me. I'm like, all right, Scott, you win. 7 out of 10.
I'm influencing people. Does that make me an influencer now? Is that how this works?
I guess. Oh, but back to the EO thing. I remember that I just saw the picture because I've got my brains on my phone. The picture he said about some dickweed guy on Twitter, talking about EO being a star, and then Stardom literally tweeted that she's been a star for a decade. I'm like, oh my god,
Yep.
no
Yep.
way.
That was fantastic. Stardom's like, got him. It was great.
That was
Yep.
awesome.
Yep. Yep.
I forgot to
Yep.
mention that while we're done. But the Stefan Albus, this one was fun. I wouldn't say okay, wouldn't be match of the year, but I mean, hey, it's Seth Rollins. He could
Yeah.
he's like the Will Ospreay. He could do great to excellent, good to excellent matches, like 4 stars and stuff. I don't do star ratings because honestly, don't rate it. Hot take. But Seth he got a good one out almost. Honestly,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see
So
where almost is going.
yeah, I mean, yeah, with being a free agent, I think he'll kind of just bounce around until somebody makes that business deal with MVP to have him be on a permanent show. They keep wanting to call Omos a attraction. I believe after last night, I can agree more with that statement. Before then, it was just like, yeah, I had a great match with Brock, and then everything else has been a squash match, and it's like, okay, he's a tall dude. Okay, he's a little bit of a monster. It really was. I was like, I really don't see the attraction part yet. And then the match last night, I was like, all right, okay, I can kind of see it now.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Will he be in one of the triple threats? Maybe he's got an outside chance. I'm not sure which one, but we'll see going
Seth
forward.
has to be in it though.
Yeah, I mean, I think Seth is the absolute favorite to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Other people have been saying Cody, but I have words about that, which we'll talk after the main event. But our third match of the night, which we talked about this before we started recording, was the shortest match of the night, and it did not feel that way. It was the triple threat match for the U.S. Championship. Austin Theory, once again, stealing a victory to retain his title against Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. This match rang in at 6 minutes and 50 seconds, which I was saying to you, did not feel that way. It felt like this was at least 10 plus. It's just, I wanted more. I really, truly did. But I do love that Austin Theory used his brain to get the pin. I believe it was on Bronson because
Lashley.
Hmm?
No, it was Reed. Yes, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, because Lashley Lashley speared Bronson, and then Theory threw Bobby out of the ring to get the pin to retain his title before Lashley can get back in the ring. I feel like obviously now with Bobby and Austin going to SmackDown, Bronson being on Raw, I feel like maybe the U.S. title feud between Austin and Bobby is not done yet, which is okay. But they're near the end for me because they've been fighting each other for months now since SummerSlam.
Bye forever.
Like I remember, like when I went to Survivor Series in Boston this past year, they fought with Seth Rollins for the U.S. title. So it's like, all right, we need to move on from this. Let's wrap it up.
Crazy he's been champ for 6 because I forgot about that till Michael Cole said last when he said I was like, he held it for 6 months.
Yep.
What the hell?
And he's been defending it too, so it's not like he's just been a champion. He's actually been doing a good job defending it. So
yeah, but this one was, I kind of like the Survivor Series one a little bit better.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That one I like, but this one was, I gave this one 6 out of 10. But I'll tell my MVPs of the show after the main event. But Bronson's on this list.
Yeah,
I like that springboard fader splash.
Beautiful.
And everybody was taught in the moonsault, and that's what everybody. I'm like, this is the New Japan Bronson or Jonah when he's a new. Yeah, it's like he beat Okada last year in G1, and everybody's like, "Holy fuck, he beat Okada!" And then like he came back, like, because quick history, Scott, because with the G1, so if you win, you get like a briefcase. Basically, it's like a Rumble and like Money in the Bank, but you don't cash it in. You get it at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
But if you win the G1, like whoever beat you in your block or finals, whatever, you could try to win it away and take their spot, like with Ray Norton.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So when Jonah beat Okada in their block, Okada obviously won last year. Never happened. Okada's like, I'm not fucking defending against you. So Jonah's like, back to WWE I go.
Right. Yep.
But that was the spot everybody thought was a springboard. I call it fair. I don't know if it was a fair bomb, but I thought, to be honest, like Cole was worried about Lashley's shoulder. I'm like, he did lay on his shoulder, didn't he? Because like, I was like, ooh,
yeah, that could have been a problem. But yeah, it was nice to see him just kind of go to town. When I was live tweeting it, the show, a lot of people were just like, "Who is this Bronson Reed?" I'm like, the Cheshire Cat smile. I'm like, yes. Good.
Excellent.
Now you understand why Bronson Reed is so fantastic. Sam and I have been on the Bronson Reed train ever since he was in NXT.
So have I.
Yeah, resident thick boy, and it just I love his theme song. I love his entrance. It's just the whole package, and just like the fact that he's such a larger individual and can move so well is just, I love that unique packaging. Like you said, it reminds me of Vader, because Vader was a big man, and that man could do moonsaults like nobody's business. So, hey, I was all for it. I loved it.
That's real.
I'm sure he'll do. Somebody had to take the pinfall here, and Bronson being on Raw was probably the correct choice. Yeah. But I don't think this is going to hurt him at all.
No.
So hopefully he can. I want to see him in Gunther.
That's what I said on the draft.
sooner rather than later. I know.
I'll take Bronson. You know what? Here's a name you're probably gonna be shot by. Him and Otis.
Okay. All right. Somewhere big
meaty man slapping me.
That's right. Somewhere Biggie's smiling, and there's my big meaty man slapping me.
But the Bronson, because I remember when he came back, like fans were like dead silent, because he came back helping Miz in that ladder match with Dexter.
Yeah. But meanwhile, I'm freaking out on my couch. Like, oh my god, he's back! Oh my god!
Because the New Japan family was like, oh, I kind of wish he waited till after wrestling. I think he did. I can't remember when he came back, like last year or something. But anyway, whatever that ladder match was, but I kind of wish he waited till like earlier this year, like with Wrestle Kingdom and stuff. Right, after, because I kind of wanted him to have that big moment. I mean, hey,
yeah. Money talks.
I remember when he came back, like fans were like quiet, like a wet fart. You could have let a fart out, and then you could hear that. And then
Horrible.
ever since, but later, like even tsunami, like fans were like, okay, here we
Yeah.
go. We haven't seen that in a while. And then I wish Wade Bear was on Raw just for that reason alone.
His
Love
his, his calls of tsunami was just outstanding.
love Corey Graves, Kevin Patrick. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of Kevin Patrick commentary, but whatever. Corey Graves, he does a good, but I like Wade's better.
Yeah.
Soon, it's also the British voice too.
Yes. Yeah.
It makes
That
it
that
better,
does
but
help. Yeah. I do
uh,
like the fact that speaking of commentary voicing their pleasures for these moves, we get to see Corey Graves say Kinshasa again, and I thought he did the best job when Shinsuke used to hit that move. So I'm very happy I get to hear that again. So
oh
that'll be
yes,
a lot of
yes, I
fun.
forgot about that for a second. I was like, Corey, people, I seen some people hate on Corey. I can't hate on him. He's great.
A lot of people hate on Corey Graves for a lot of different things that have happened in life.
Like the Carmella stuff was a little too much at times, but I mean, hey, it's his wife, whatever. Like, hey,
Whatever.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
care. I didn't care about that. You should be gushing over your wife. That's just how this
No,
shit.
no, yeah. I'm just nitpicking, but like,
Oh
I mean, it's
yeah.
funny because it's trying to be, but it's just like, okay, just maybe tone it a tiny bit. Well, speaking of dirty jokes, I'll get to Michael Cole's in a little bit. I will, but
Yes.
that U.S. title match, I give this 1 6 out of 10. It was great. I'm kind of tired of the Theory and Lashley feud. Like, let's get Theory,
Right.
Cameron Grimes, like me and you said on the draft review. Someone else's name just slipped right on my head. Um,
Yeah,
oh my god,
there's a
there's
lot
plenty
of
of people.
younger talent that have a shot to go against Theory. Speaking of Cameron Grimes, our boy, he gets to have his first match on SmackDown this upcoming week against free agent Barrett Corbin, so that'll be a lot of fun to see. But again, that's SmackDown. We'll bring it back. Our next match, our next match was for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It was Rhea Ripley defending and defeating the hometown girl, but um Puerto Rico loved Zelina Vega. Her gear was on point. The Puerto Rican flag as she was coming out was a beautiful touch.
That was cool. That was
Yeah,
cool.
her getting like super emotional in the ring before the match starts. It's just like you could feel the love that they had for her. From what they were saying on during the show is that Zelina has tried multiple times to wrestle in Puerto Rico, but they've always fallen through.
Yeah.
So she had Friday night on SmackDown in the mixed tag, and then she had this match tonight with Rhea, or not tonight, but on Saturday with Rhea, and I thought it was a lot of fun. Obviously, I 99.9% of us knew that Rhea was going to win, but Zelina looked amazing in this match. I feel like this was the best match she's ever had in WWE.
Oh yeah.
Rhea looked fantastic. She brought out her white attire from WrestleMania a couple years ago. Damian Priest also did this too in the next match, but we'll talk about that in a little bit because a lot happened in that street fight. But this was a fun match. I think maybe on the whole card, this might have been the weakest match of the night, but
Yeah.
it was one of
I
the
would say.
better emotional matches for the night.
Yeah, I've been a fan of like I've seen her in TNA/Impact.
Yeah.
Excuse me. When she came to NXT with Andre, that was a excellent. That was stupid when they broke them up with
Yeah.
Andrade and
I do remember that. Yeah.
then she had all triple A's because I remember she was Austin Theory, Andrade, and Angel Garza. A lot of people probably forget about the whole Austin Theory one, but that was COVID.
Yep. Yeah. A lot of things happened in COVID.
And then no, I think her going up with Legato and LWO was probably the best move, second best move besides the Andrade. But like I said, but this I remember she got the now I'm gonna say flip flop, but I forget the actual
The
word was it.
sandal.
And then everyone's like, "Woo!"
I know. I
And
know.
my coach like, anyone who's not Latino won't get it.
I I'm mostly Italian. So that resonated with me a little bit. I mean, my mom never hit me, but I mean, I've heard stories. So I mean that normally with Italians it will probably be a wooden spoon. So it's the same, six dozen and one half of the, you know what I mean. I'm trying to get. So I understood that what she was trying to do. It was fantastic. I was laughing my ass off.
A Sando got one of the biggest pops on the show.
It was so great. Rhea's like completely confused. Like, what? Why did you throw a sandal at me?
Yeah, she threw it and she's like, what the hell?
Part of me was laughing. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, that technically wouldn't that be a DQ because that's a foreign object? But
Yeah, I remember. I was like, because I was thinking that too. I was like,
referee's discretion.
AEW refs.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I was like, well, technically I remember she threw it because her family was outside. I think her mom gave her it, and
Yeah.
she threw it. Like the fans went crazy, and then they threw it at her, and then Rhea's just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. What is this? Yeah.
And then it
Yeah.
bounced. It's funny, it bounced off her. I think it hit her in the stomach, and then it flew out the ring. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe Rhea's got a stomach of steel or something. That
Right.
bounced off.
Exactly. Yeah. Just bounced right off. She's like, what? But yeah.
Boing, wee.
To
Mario. Wee.
Yeah. To finish this match though, I think Rhea was like, she was done playing. She put some stank on that last Riptide, and defend and retains her title. But yeah, like I said, I thought that maybe this might have been the weakest one of the bunch, but it wasn't a bad match by any means. Like I said, there were no duds in this whole show. Like all 7 matches were really good.
I give this one 5 out of 10. Honestly, spoiler, this is actually the lowest score I had. Because I mean, hey, like if it's 5 out of 10, like it's not too. Hey, I gave matches for 2 out of 10 or 1 out of 10. I said, but
yeah,
this one if I had to pick like a weak match, quote unquote,
yeah,
I'd probably say this one, and I'll get to the other one in a little bit. Spoilers, the main event. But that was the two lowest. Lowest. But I'll talk about my MVPs and stuff after them reviewed the Backlash. But these fans, like, they were on fire. Great, let's go back there. Oh my god.
Yep. Back to back for this match and then the next one. The San Juan street fight. Bad Bunny taking on and defeating Damian Priest. This match had everything. Bad Bunny's coming out to the ring. The entire crowd sang the entire song the whole way. I haven't heard pops like this in so long. It was crazy.
That was like Triple H 2002 pop.
Right? Yeah, like almost Austin pops. And it's just like, it was so much fun. Like we had everything in this match. We had freaking Savio Vega, who actually showed up earlier in the night.
They gave him a Puerto Rican candlestick.
Correct. And then obviously the LWO gets involved, the Judgment Day gets involved, and then we have the return of the Caribbean Cool Carlito with Apple and everything, and I lost my goddamn mind.
Me too.
I was a fan of Carlito since the beginning. Like he was his first WWE shirt was the first purchase I ever made with my own money, was buying his Caribbean Cool shirt because I just loved everything about him. I thought it was outstanding. Obviously nowadays you don't want to spit anything in anybody's face because it's not kosher, but it's just like, and the man is jacked too. Like holy shit.
Yeah, I remember he came back out the Rumble last year. I was like, holy fuck, Carlito.
Right, yeah. Hopefully I'm assuming it's probably still just a one-nighter thing, but I would love to see Carlito come back and have another mini run, maybe win one of the mid-card titles again, and kind of.
I thought Stone Cold's coming out with him. Oh, like, because I'll be honest, I was a little surprised Judgment came out like towards the end of the match.
Yeah, it's true. I honestly expected them to be out pretty quickly.
Like the first 5 minutes, I thought like when Priest was like getting attacked by, I don't know why I was waiting for Judgment, like Balor and Dominic to come out.
Yeah,
I was a little surprised. I mean, you knew they were showing up, but
right, it was just a matter of when.
It's like, okay, they haven't shown up yet. Okay, and I was like, oh, because I remember when they got to the I think the steel post part, like when it's hit with the chair.
Yep.
No, sorry if you meant that after the low blow and stuff. I was like, there they are.
Yeah.
But he took some nasty bumps though. Like I gotta get the broken arrow off the stage and equipment. I'm like, All right, I'm gonna give him his prop, man. Give him
Yeah.
his flowers.
Yep. The man, I love the fact that, he's not a wrestler by trade, but he's come in and he's learned how to do things. And he puts the effort in and he puts the work in, and he
Mhm.
deserves, like you said, he deserves his flowers. Like this was an outstanding match from him. This was also the longest match of the night, going 25 minutes. Obviously, like you said, Judgment Day coming out towards the end. This causes, Rey Mysterio to come out, and then then Carlito,
Carlito.
and then Judgment Day tries to run away, and Savio Vega stops them. And then the rest of LWO comes out, and then it's just like, let's kick the absolute shit out of Judgment Day for a few minutes. And then they all run away, and then Bad Bunny finally gets the victory. One small thing during this match, I know Priest was in the corner and went to kick Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny caught him and then did the whole hyperextending of the knee thing.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to check, but it looked like Priest may have legitimately got hurt at that moment, because you could hear him yelling at the ref. He's like, I don't know what's wrong. Something's wrong. And I'm like, oh no, please no. So I have to do some more homework on that to see if he's
Yeah, I
actually
keep checking. I didn't say anything, so I
okay. But it looked legit, and I'm just like, oh crap, that would be horrifying, especially with Bad Bunny, them being actual friends, and it's just like, shit. But yeah, this for me was the emotional high of the night.
Yeah.
Just, oh my god, the crowd, and just the wrestling was really good. Yeah, it was just, I was real happy
I
with it.
I remember when Bad Bunny came out, like it was literally a concert, and then when Carlito came out, I thought it's like the pop he got. It was
Yeah.
sounded like Stone Cold was coming out.
Right?
I was like, because like I had to turn my TV. I must have set on my remote because like it got all of a sudden I got so I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Quickly put it down. Put it down.
shh, don't want to get complaints. But it was good to see. I haven't seen. Sorry, it was 2 years ago, 2021, because there's
Yeah.
third. I said last year, but you get the point.
I know what you meant.
I was like, holy fuck! And then Savio Vega looked like a fucking mob boss.
Right? I know.
Because when Escobar, Totoro, and Wild came out, they're like they're almost like dogs ready to go after them, right? And then Vega's like,
Exactly. Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Well,
I was like, can we make him the new leader? Love you, right?
Right?
But can we make him the new leader?
Yeah.
But like, it was just cool. It was pretty badass though, because like he came out. I missed. I mean, I know I was only a baby when because I only watched him in Attitude Era.
Yep.
But
I do remember him wrestling back in the day.
And I see him in MLW stuff too.
Yeah. So
And the Stone Cold match, because on 2K16 you can play that on Showcase.
Yep.
But
Yep.
But I remember he came out and like he just stood there like a bodyguard,
Yeah.
and it went out the rest of like I almost said Legato, but the LWO, the Vegas just like go.
Yep. Yeah, it was great.
I was like, okay, that's pretty. And then he got involved. I was a little surprised he got. I thought he was just gonna stand, and then Balor's just like, Dominic's just getting his ass kicked by like 6 people, and Balor's like, bye guys. I'm like,
Yep. Peace.
I thought you guys were family, man. Come on. And then Vegas, Savio, I should say, because Slayton, I keep getting them mixed up. Savio's like, where you going? You're getting
job for you.
You're getting your ass beat, boy.
Yep. Yep.
It was cool though. I thought that was cool. But and then Bunny with Destroyer.
Yes.
Finally, a rare time a Canadian Destroyer wins a match.
I know. Petey Williams must have been the one to produce this match, because that's
actually Brian Kendrick did.
Was it? Oh, all right. Nice. I like that.
I seen the reports because like I was trying to find the tournament all morning. I've been looking before the podcast, and I see everybody like Brian Kendrick was produced. I'm like, really? I thought it'd be Petey Williams.
Right.
But Priest looked like a beast, and well, I'll get to my MVPs in a bit. But there's a few people on this list. But this match, this is an Ethan pick 9 out of 10.
Yeah, this was really good. But of course, when you have two matches that are emotional highs, you unfortunately get that backlash, no pun intended.
Calm down match.
We get the calm down match, yes. And it was the 6-man match with Riddle and the WWE Undisputed Tag Champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking on the Bloodline, with the Bloodline getting the win. And not just the Bloodline, but Solo Sikoa. And this match was our second longest match in 22 minutes, but it felt like an eternity. I think just because we're all emotionally exhausted from the previous two matches. This was a good match, and we talked about future storylines kind of weaving through things. Solo and Jay. There's some stuff
Yeah.
that's going to be happening on SmackDown when Roman returns as well.
He slapped the shit out of his chest when he made the tag. I was
I
like,
know. You just
because
see Solo just kind of look at his chest, and I'm just like, oh boy. He's
you
like,
fuck
I'm gonna do it. I'm the big brother. I'm just like, oh Jay.
Jay,
Oh
shut up,
no.
shut up, Jay, shut up. But I remember that because I think Solo was trying to go for the spike or something, and then Jay like slapped his chest, like remember the Highlanders in '06, they slapped each other across the face for
Yeah.
tags.
Yeah.
I remember he did that. I'm like, ooh, you fucked up.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
Solo's like, I remember he grabbed him by the throat. I'm like, oh shit, is he turned heel? Is he
Yep.
kicking it? Bye, Jay.
Yeah, right. Oh my god. But yeah, that was I like the way it ended with Riddle coming in all hot and Solo just like, hey, guess what? You're done.
Stay down, Riddle.
Yep.
But I was a little surprised they won just because for all the I like how Jimmy's like, all right, guys, calm,
Right. Yeah. He's
easy,
he's
and
playing he's playing Peacemaker, but yeah,
then
it's
and then I mean saying and always look they go. I mean, Rail didn't do too bad, but I thought they would win just where the issues were going on.
right.
Because you figure Soul's not taking the pin. He only
No.
lost what? Well, he got pinned alive in, but I'm not TV wise. He was pretty good. Like I mean, he lost to Cody the Raw for Mania, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh shit. But other than that, he's been lost by Kano, DQ type stuff, and then but out of the NXT calls in the last year, he's been one protected the most.
Oh, absolutely. And he's been pushed a lot recently too,
Mm-hmm.
which is wonderful to see because I feel like he's definitely the new right hand man for Roman.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the Usos have much longer to be in the bloodline.
Nope.
Um, yeah, it's people are like, oh, I'm bored of the bloodline storyline. It's about to get a whole lot better.
Yeah.
So y'all need to pay attention to it and enjoy it because once Roman's gone for good, you're gonna miss it. Like people are like, oh, I'm so tired of him being this champion for this long, and wow, this is history, folks. You need to appreciate it while it's here because once it's gone, you're gonna be like, I'm sick and tired of this title being a hot potato. But of course, it's the wrestling fans; they're never pleased for anything.
Right.
So it is what it is. But I hope people can actually look at this in a little while who don't appreciate it now and be like, wow, like we really missed out on something extra special with Roman Reigns and the Tribal Chief character.
I remember when Paul, I think it was the tag title rematch. I remember Paul's like, "That's the call." One of that was supposed to be for the Usos,
Yep.
and then Riddle was like, "Nope, I'm gonna beat you up."
Yep. Yep.
And, but I mean, Solo's been look like a beast. You figure, he, I mean, if you were losing, he's not getting pinned. It's gonna be one of the Usos.
Yep.
And then I remember Jay, he's like, "I got it. This is my story." Like trying to with Sammy because I think Sammy was the legal man in the ring, and Solo's like, "All right, I guess
Yeah.
so." And then he got kicked. Then he got kicked off the apron like a second later. So I was like,
Yep.
"All right, I'm ending this. Like, get out of the ring. I'm winning this." And then he had Riddle. He kind of figured Riddle was gonna get pinned. Just
Yeah.
because.
Yeah.
I mean,
If anybody was going to get pinned, it was going to be Riddle. It wasn't going to be Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn. So
and then after the match, Jimmy's like, "Wait, come on."
chill, chill, chill.
Well, since we're fancy booking, I could see if they're not doing like the kick out, but like where Soul hits the Usos, I could see him do. This is probably gonna be stupid, but a tag match. Literally, it Usos lead, they must leave.
I could see, I don't know. I could see maybe Jay and Solo will probably have a match at some point down the road. Um, if Jay's able to get by Solo, I think Jay could then try to go after Roman again, kind of bring the whole story full circle.
I could see that, yeah.
But I think at this point, which is unfortunate because I really enjoy the Usos as heels, I feel like this is going to be a face turn for the Usos, and hopefully they at least keep the music because I was not a fan of their old music or their old face paint. Let them stay the badasses that they are, but just be good guys.
Yeah,
That
I
that's
like.
just that's just my hope because their theme song for me is top 5 in WWE today.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I like on SmackDown where they're pumping up for the 6 man and Soul's just rapping his thumb.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy's like, "So you're ready for?" And then Jay got like right in his face. I'm like, "No, dummy."
He's like, "Your brother asked you a question." I'm just like, "Oh, don't do that
And
tonight,
it,
there, buddy."
and then Solo started talking. I'm like, "He can talk," because I haven't talked since NXT, right?
Yeah.
I mean, don't let him talk all the time, but like once in a like that, like that was perfect time. And then when he
Oh
left,
yeah.
Jimmy's like, "God, you gotta start shit, don't you?"
Why did you
Gotta,
have to say something?
and Jay's like, "I wasn't trying to be." I'm like, "Jay, you're just getting kicked out. Let's just be honest here." I think I could see Jimmy staying, but he might leave just like
I
what
mean,
is the
I think Jay's ready for a singles run. Honestly, like he had it
again?
when Jimmy was out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I think he could win mid card title. Have no problem being a mid card champion. I
No, I
think
don't
he'd
even.
be. I think he'd be great at it. But yeah, if you want to separate the Usos for a little while, go ahead, do
You
it.
know
I
what's
think. I think Jay would be fine.
I could see that, but you know what's funny? Everyone sold out the North American title,
Yes.
and then for like a week.
Yeah,
I
because
feel
he
like
had to give it back. Yeah, I know.
I feel like they kind of missed the opportunity where Roman had the titles, Usos the titles, Solo should have had the okay, not Intercontinental because it's Gunther, but the US title. See, they missed the opportunity, Scott.
But I mean, they did have that one moment where all of them were champions besides
True.
Sammy.
Oh
So
yeah, Sammy Wentz 24/7 title before it got
yeah,
hurt.
that's what people were pushing for that. Like, just have them have a title. Every member of the bloodline can raise a title when they do their entrance, which I thought
Somebody
would have
said
been.
Paul should have had 24/7. I'm like, oh my god, Paul Heyman with the title. That would have been funny.
Oh my god.
Oh no, my tribal chief. But you ever? It's funny when Roman's not there and Paul is. You ever notice he always accompanies Solo and not the Usos?
Yes.
That's and well, here's a sorry, John. I know this is your gimmick, but here's the stats. Here's the statistic. So remember the Hearts teamed up at 90 in the nice Survivor Series. You correct me on that. With like all the Hart brothers,
Mhm.
Usos are the second team to do it with all brothers.
Interesting. I
Where I
like it.
didn't know that until yesterday. I was like,
Huh.
huh.
That's a
But it's
very that's a very nice little tidbit right there. I like
yeah,
that.
second team to do that with all brothers because like I mean, Humaga Roshi never teamed up in WWE wise, but like indies and stuff they have. But it's
Right,
just
right,
like,
right.
but it's like that's fucking crazy. All three
Yeah.
brothers, because I didn't even think because when they first made the match, like, oh, it's gonna be Roman and the Usos against Owen, Sane, and Riddle.
Right.
And then when they said Roman's not going to Puerto Rico, which I'm still a little surprised, but whatever. They brought Solo. I'm like, how the fuck did I not think of that when they first announced the Solo when
Right.
they had
Yeah.
Solo? And then I seen there's a Twitter WWE stats. By the way, great Twitter. Go follow them for stats.
Mm.
He said that I was like, huh. Wow, I actually forgot about that. To be honest with you,
That is pretty cool.
that is pretty cool.
I do like that stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I mean that the match wasn't bad, but just like coming off, like I said, the emotional high from the back-to-back matches before it was just kind of like, whew, all right, I need a minute to reset here. Match was great. Usos and Solo getting the victory.
7 out of 10 for me.
A lot of good things coming, storyline wise, come to SmackDown. And yeah, 7 out of 10 I thought was a good thing for it.
I feel like if it's somewhere else on the card, I probably would have said 8. But after like they were like right at the spot,
Yeah.
like I call it the calm down match. It was still good. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not hating it, but it's just like I kind of wish it was a difference because honestly, I was kind of spoiled because Fightful upload the like the order,
Yeah.
and then of course this is that every news outlet's gonna post the
I
match.
know. I know. We did not. I tend to not try to do that. I know Fightful's a very reputable,
Yeah.
source. And that's all good and fine. And but part of me wishes that they wouldn't do that because I like the surprise of which match could be next.
Mhm.
But I mean, I get it. They're trying to get news out for everybody. That's all good and fine. I'm not knocking it. It's just
No,
something personally I wouldn't like to do. And I guess if that puts me behind the A ball, whatever. I don't care.
I
I'm
kind
more
of
of a old schoolist when it comes to stuff like that.
I didn't really mind, but like I wasn't going looking for it. I just seen it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But honestly, like you kind of figure either that match, the Street Fight, or the next match will be the main event.
Right.
But you
Well, I mean,
kind
they
of
did have that double main event, which made no sense because the matches weren't back to back. Yeah.
Right? It's like 41 2000 where the 3 matches weren't back to back either.
exactly. So yeah, I mean, I I know that the reason why they called Damian Priest and Bad Bunny fight a main event is for strictly for PR purposes, because they even mentioned it during the telecast on Backlash that he was part of, you know, the Met Gala and part of Coachella, and
Yeah.
it's just like now he's doing Backlash. It's like, all right, I know what you
I
guys are doing, I get it.
oh, I'm glad you brought that because I remember after the match, like when they went that quick commercial and then they went like to the commentaries to help with the world
Yeah,
title. I remember I think Corey asked him what his favorite song was.
yeah, to name one other song from Bad Bunny that wasn't Booker T, and then Cole just like slaps him down with a name and talks about, I think it was, what is it translating to, twerking alone or
I
something.
twerk alone, and then
Yeah,
Corey's
I
like,
twerk. Corey's face was absolutely the man
and
was
then Cole just
flabbergasted.
and then Cole just kept going with the. So yeah, the tournament starts this Monday on Raw, and Corey's just like, huh? And
Completely, it was just, oh my god, it was outstanding. It's just a testament.
Cole's trying not to laugh, and Corey's just like, wow, I just got thrown off guard. And then Cole's like, Corey, you got to say anything? And Corey's just like, I don't know. I got thrown off with that comment you just said.
I'm still trying to get, yeah, I know. It's just a testament to how good Michael Cole truly is at commentary.
I think Pat unlocked something, and also Vince leaving too.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
feel like Pat, ever since Pat came on commentary and like Vince left, like Cole's just like, fuck it, handcuffs are off. Like I'm gonna say random shit and try to
yep,
get away with it.
yep. I'm looking forward to him and Bailey.
Oh my god,
Again, they
yes.
kind of touched upon it during the show, which was great. But actually, no, I think that was on the previous SmackDown. But still, it's just like those two have such a great chemistry together too. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's funny because when Bailey came down and Cole's like, "Yay,
Oh, great, she's back! I'm like,
get
this is great.
get used to it."
No, pretty much.
I'm like, "Oh, these two." And well, I remember Bailey said in an interview before we get to the main event, she jokingly said Michael Cole.
Yes.
I was like, I thought I never want to see. We already seen him and Jerry Law. I was like, please don't put Cole in the ring. But now I kind of want to see him and
Yep.
Bailey.
Yep. Oh my god, it'd be outstanding.
I know Bailey would beat the shit out of him, but still.
It's true. It's true. Well, no, you never know with Michael Cole. He might get another victory via DQ. So
There's no anonymous GMs anymore.
that's true. I mean, that is very true.
Just get Adam Pierce or just grab Chelsea Green, file a
Yeah.
complaint.
Yeah. No, yeah.
She'll file a complaint for you.
Of course. Of course. But our main event, true main event of the night, Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar, Cody getting the victory while being stuck in the Kimura lock. The match went 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Didn't seem like it was that short. Again, another one of those matches. I kind of expected more. Part of me also felt like I thought Brock was going to win this match because we're going to continue down the hard times path that Cody Rhodes is clearly going to be on. But Cody gets the victory here. And then what intrigued me the most about this was Brock Lesnar's response after the pin, because he had that Kimura in locked and Cody was not going anywhere. Cody just shifts his hips, pushes forward, and gets Brock pinned for 3. Then Cody gets out of there faster than I've seen people run the 100-meter dash. And Brock just kind of sits in the ring, obviously streaming blood down his face from a legitimate cut after he smashes his head into an exposed turnbuckle, which I was really surprised that how much he bled. That was nuts.
I think he got because I remember Cody took turnbuckle off because Brock German him, and then the turbo went flying in the crowd, and then the fans were booing.
Yeah,
I think security or WWE staff master told him to give it back.
Probably, yeah.
And the fans were like, "Boo!" I'm like, "Hey, I would have kept that." It's like,
right, exactly, yeah.
Well, I don't want to get banned, but so and then I remember when Brock hit his head, like immediately, like I saw a tiny gap, and then next time, whoosh.
Yeah,
I was like,
and even the crowd was like, "Whoa!" And I was just like, "Holy shit!" Okay, all right, we got actual blood. Normally it's Cody, but this time it's Brock.
He pulled a page out John Moxley.
Oh my god. I'm surprised that during the beginning, before the match even started, with Cody doing all his pre-match attacks on Brock with steel chair, with the steel steps, and yeah, I expected blood at some point, but I did not expect it to be so much from Brock. Um, but yeah, for me, this means clearly this is not over. And we
No.
want to talk about the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. If Cody is in this on the Raw side, Brock will show up and will cost him his shot moving forward. I can guarantee this. There is no way in hell that Cody Rhodes will be in Saudi Arabia for Night of Champions to go for this title. It's not going to happen.
Oh God, no.
He's gonna lose. Brock's gonna continue to attack him. They'll probably have a match, if not at Night of Champions, probably at Money in the Bank. And yeah, Cody's not going to come anywhere near this new title. I feel like it's going to be Seth Rollins all the way, but I'm very interested to see if and when they decide to give us the the participants for these triple threat matches moving forward, which as of right now they still have not done so.
No.
So yeah, I thought the match was fine. Like I said, I didn't expect it to be so short. I guess from what you were saying, the Bad Bunny Damian Priest match went long, which kind of understood. But yeah, I don't know. I think this was one of the lower ones for you. I think you said this was what, 5 or 6 out of 10.
I gave this one 6. The SmackDown was the lowest one I gave. I gave it a 5, but this one, I mean, if you count the pre-match attack, it was like what, 15 minutes in total.
Probably, yeah. That sounds about right.
I was like, oh shit! But it was smart for Cody to do that though, because and then Brock doing his German flinging him halfway. I forgot he had turnbuckle, like, because what I was saying when he before Brock got busted, he went. I mean, Cody went flying in the turnbuckle pads, like, but into the universe it goes.
Yep.
But I mean, it wasn't bad though, and it's just like, oh, hi Hershey, look, a cameo.
It's the puppy cam.
But it was, I mean, maybe it wasn't too bad. You kind of figured Cody was winning. I thought Brock was winning after the F5. I was like, uh-oh.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, I thought the pay-per-view overall was really good. Like I said, there was no real duds, which is great. I know you mentioned you had some MVPs of the night.
I do. I mean, MVP was out there, but he wasn't.
Yes.
MVPs I gotta give to the Wild Women's stuff. Both actually Bianca and Io, probably a little more Io. Bronson Reed. Both Priest and Bunny. Both of them in that street fight. And then actually, no, I'll leave it there. Almost be an honorary mention.
Okay. All right.
And then Ethan picks, obviously, the street fight and the Raw Women's title match, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely the two
if I
best
had to
ones.
if I had to pick two to go check out, that's the two I say.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you on that. Yeah, those were definitely the two best matches from a wrestling and an emotional standpoint. Those are definitely the two better ones, definitely, of the night.
That's the two if I had to be, if someone came to me like, hey, if I don't have time to watch the full show, like what's your 2 or 3? I say the Raw Women's Street Fight, probably the 6-man tag will probably be the 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whoever you want to see. Even Rollins and Almost, honestly. I know.
I mean, like you were saying, there's not really a dud in this whole show. It was good all around, which is really nice to see.
If I had to pick 2 skips, I'd probably say the women's title match to SmackDown, Cody and if I had to. But we're saying no duds. But people are if you had to choose, no, you know what I'm trying to say. If you had to pick 2, kind of skip over or
right
speed watch, I'd probably say the main event and the SmackDown women's title match. But they were still good. But I'd probably cross them off the list of skip, honestly.
Okay.
And nothing on the world title, by the way. I looked everywhere, still no brackets.
That's fine. So yeah, it'll probably be out by the time we release this this afternoon, which is fine. Like I said, just keep an eye on our social media outlets, and we'll definitely post about it. You can find us on Twitter at Above the Ring. You could find us on Facebook at Ship It Above the Ring, and on Instagram and YouTube as _Above the Ring. You can find myself pretty much everywhere as Scotty J Stream, and you can find Ethan at wrestling_fan_9, and I'll let Ethan talk about the rest of his places where he can be found.
Yeah, so you can catch on my website, wrestlingwithethan.wordpress.com, or review like everything on this WWE, AEW, Stardom, New Japan, a lot. Same with PW Mania. We'll review anything I could get my hands on, pretty much. Pro Wrestling Puzzle, where I do the retro All Japan Pro Wrestling and ECW, the original. Sometimes WWE, but whatever. And then you catch me on my show, The Walk of Ethan Wrestling Podcast, where on every Fridays and Sundays. Fridays is the Money for Thursday shows, and then Sundays, obviously, Friday for Sunday shows. And then Above the Ring, where on the Facebook page, I do Stardom, Noah, All Japan Results, and New Japan. Scott, you would know on Twitter, same thing. I
Yep.
just tell you, and you just retweet them.
Yep. Yeah, we're all about sharing, growing, and having a whole lot of fun talking wrestling. Guys, thank you so much for listening. This was our WWE Backlash review. It's a mouthful sometimes, you know. But yeah, most importantly, guys, don't forget to ship it. And as always, join the bedlam. Have a good night.